Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Koonze podcast. My name is Lucia Koonze, and I'll be your host today. In today's episode, we'll be talking about NFL. What happened last night with the Raiders and the Chiefs? It was an insane game, and the Raiders lost again, but we'll get back. We'll get a little bit to it. We will also talk about the 49ers and the Panthers. What's going on with the 49ers and the Panthers, right? The 49ers seem to be doing pretty decent right now. So we're going to leave it there right now. And we will also talk about MLB playoffs. What happened with the Padres and the rest of the teams that are now part of the playoffs, and who they'll be facing, and what kind of predictions do we have for those games? I know it's gonna be the first series, but we'll talk a little bit of what to expect. And then we'll also have the scorings for the college football, Big Ten, right? So with that said, let's get on with the NFL. So the Raiders and the Chiefs. What a game, I might say. It was definitely the Raiders had it all. They did not have to do much except protect their scoring. It is the bittersweet, most definitely for the Raider fans, because they were winning the game. They were winning the game, and then something happened during halftime that just went off. But they lost to 1 point, so the Raiders lost 30-29. So let's get on to the game. So at minute 8, Devonta Adams at 58-yard pass by Derek Carl, and Daniel Carlson with the kick brings the Vegas Raiders 7-0. In the second quarter, under 15 minutes, exactly at 14-minute mark, Jacobs with a 1-yard run, and then Carlson with the kick brings the Vegas Raiders 14-0. Everything seemed going phenomenal for the Raiders. They've been working for these type of games because they've lost pretty much all of their games except one, right? But it's just been for a few points, and today they just showed that. And again, something happened. It's happening in the team that they're just not finishing. They're just not ending that last place. And we don't know what really is going on. But under 10 minutes, Daniel Carlson with the 53-yard field goal brings the Raiders 17-0. And then under 5 minutes, Chiefs, Travis Kelce. We can't, the name says it all, right? We can't really say much of a Travis Kelce, but Kelce with the 1-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes, and a kick by Wright brings the Chiefs 17-7. Still the Raiders leading. It's okay. It was a 1 touchdown time, but that cost them the game probably. But before going to halftime, with 17 seconds, Carlson with 50-yard field goal brings the Vegas Raiders 20-7. And then with just literally no seconds left, right, with the 59-yard field goal for the Chiefs, brings the Chiefs 20-10, still Raiders leading the game. And then we go to halftime. So at this point, the Raiders seem to be somewhat a little bit worried. And I was too, because they were able to do a touchdown, bring the team 7 from a 17-0 to, or like a 17-0 to a 17-7. And then we were like, okay, it's a touchdown. And then having to go to halftime with the 20-10, that to me was like, whoa. We gotta take a deep breath, Raiders, and just process what's going on. And I mean, I don't know what's going on in their heads during the games, and I'm pretty sure they were kind of concerned about it. But as a viewer, to me was like, you guys gotta do the eye opener. Make sure you are noticing the fact that the Chiefs are kind of right there with you guys before halftime. So, but they were still winning the game, which was what mattered, right? In the third quarter, the Chiefs just blew out. They appeared out of don't know where. And Kelsey with the under 10 minutes, Kelsey with the 4-yard pass by Patrick Mahomes, and then right with the kick, brings the Chiefs 20-17. The Raiders still leading. But then under 4 minutes, again, Kelsey, 8-yard pass from Mahomes, right with the kick. The Chiefs lead 24-20. And then fourth quarter comes in, the Raiders under or just near the 14-minute mark. Carlson with the 47-yard field goal brings the Raiders 23-24, really close. But under 8 minutes, Kelsey again, start of the player, 1-yard pass from Mahomes, and a 2-point conversion that was failed. And that was the key play for the Raiders. But the Chiefs were still leading 30-23. I mean, I just feel bad for the Raiders because they do everything just great. They've been doing great plays. I mean, I wouldn't say like phenomenal, but they've been doing great plays. They've been doing everything they just need to do, but they just can't finish. They just can't finish the last minutes. And with that said, I mean, less than 5 minutes, Adams with the 48-yard pass from Derek Carl brings the Raiders 29-30, the Chiefs winning. And then they try to do the 2-point conversion. Didn't happen. They were just slight. I mean, they were just slightly off the end zone, and that was the play was reviewed. He was still not near. And then after that, when the Raiders had the ball, literally in like seconds, within like I think like a 2 minute or 1 minute, they couldn't finish the 1 yard, and the game ends. Carlson not Carson, Carl couldn't finish the play. He didn't. His pass was incomplete, ends the game. The Chiefs win by 1 point, and it was a bummer. But at the end of the day, the Raiders, again, you could still take the fact that you guys play phenomenal. You guys did what you had to do against the Chiefs. You were leading perfectly fine. And I mean, the Chiefs, they're also a great team. So this was by far one of the best games of this week, I would say. So congratulations still to the Raiders, for staying in their feet until the end. But at the end of the day, one team has to win, right? Sadly, it wasn't the Raiders. With that said, let's go to the 49ers. 49ers beat the Panthers 37-15. I'm not gonna get tired of saying Garoppolo has still shown and will still keep showing probably that he is there to play. 49ers, whatever you guys do, whatever you have done with Garoppolo, he is like, well, I'm still here, so I'm still winning, helping win your games. So, just saying. So let's go to the first quarter. Under 12 minutes, 49ers call him in 9-yard pass from Jimmy Garoppolo. And a kick by goal brings the 49ers 7-0. Then in the second quarter, under 13 minutes, goal with the 49-yard field goal brings the 49ers 10-0. And then less than 8 minutes, Panthers Pinero with the 43-yard field goal brings the Panthers 10-3, 49ers still leading. And then with the 43 seconds before before going to halftime, mostly with the 41-yard interception return and goal with the kick brings the 49ers 17-3. And then they go to halftime. So far, the 49ers, I mean, they did do a little bit of horrible plays now and then, but because they still came back, we give a little bit of forgiveness. But still, there's still a lot for them to work. And, there's the season's, I wouldn't say fully starting, because we're not fully starting. We are past, we're with week 6 now. So it's not fully starting, but this week will be week 6. Last week was week 5. So in the third quarter, the Panthers, McCaffrey, 19-yard run, and then a 2-point conversion fail. It's like the 2-point conversions have been failing as well. More than like the field goal setting, the 2-point conversion have been like not successful, I guess. But brings the Panthers 17-9, still the Niners leading. Less than 7 minutes, Samuel with the 4 pass by Jimmy Garoppolo, goal with the kick, brings the Niners 24-9. And then a field goal by Panthers Pinero, 37-yard field goal, brings the Panthers 24-12. Still low. They are still not like, I don't know what happened to the Panthers in this game. I'm just not even gonna bother going over it. But in the fourth quarter, under 13 minutes, Wilson Jr. with the 1-yard run, and then Wisnowski with the point after touchdown fails. It's like I'm still processing the whole past 2 weeks of field goals, and field goal, like the point after touchdown missing, the 2-point conversion missing. So I'm like, you can do 50-yard field goals, but you can't do the 1 point and then 2 points. I mean, it's just me, right? I guess it's just me. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll leave it there. So with Wilson Jr., 1-yard run brings the 49ers 30-12. And then under 7 minutes, Panthers Pinero 34-yard field goal brings the Panthers 30-15. Niners still leading. And then in under 4 minutes, touchdown by Coleman with the 5-yard run. And I keep saying his name wrong. Wisnowski kick brings the Niners 37-15, which gives them the victory. So the Niners right now are 3-2. Panthers are 1-4. And then we go back to the Raiders. Raiders are still 1-4. And then the Chiefs are 4-1. So with that said, let's go to the scorings of this week, of week 5. On Thursday, the Colts beat the Broncos 12-9. And then on Sunday, the New York Giants beat the Packers 27-22. And then the Steelers lost to the Bills 38-3. The Chargers beat the Browns 30-28. Really good game. I mean, it was an okay game for the Browns. Great game for the Chargers. And then the Vikings beat the Bears 29-22. Patriots beat the Lions 29-0. That's a really good game for the Patriots. I'm not so sure about the Lions. The Saints beat the Seahawks 39-32. Really good game. Really close as well. So, but I still think the Raiders and the Chiefs took the game of the week for sure. Because it was more like a nail biter. The Dolphins lost to the Jets 40-17. The Falcons lost to the Buccaneers 21-15. Great game by Tom Brady, by the way. I mean, Tom Brady, right? We a lot of us can't say nothing bad about Tom Brady. So, as even though you want to, you just can't. You just can't. With that, let's go to the Titans. The Titans beat the Commanders 21-17. Texans beat the Jaguars 13-6. That game was one of the least favorite of mine for this week, I will say. There was just not a lot of movement, and I thought they were going to do a lot more, mainly Jaguars, but it didn't happen. The Cowboys beat the Rams 22-10. And then the Eagles beat the Cardinals 20-17. The Bengals lost to the Ravens 19-17. Another really low game, but at the same time, it was a nail biter because, it was a close game after all. I still think they could have done slightly better. So with that, we go back to the 49ers beating the Panthers, and the Chiefs beating the Raiders. So with that, let's go to the MLB because we have playoffs. So before the playoffs, there was the Phillies, Mariners, Cardinals, and Padres who had to do a 2-win from before they started the pre-game. Padres were against the New York Mets, and the first game they won 7-1. The second game they lost 7-3, and then the third game they beat the Mets 6-0, which brings them to the playoffs, and now they have to face the LA Dodgers. Heck of a game by Padres and Dodgers. Hopefully they bring a good series. I don't want just, the Raiders, I was just thinking about the Raiders. Oh my God. I don't want just the Dodgers to win or just the Padres to win. I'm actually excited. As you can hear my voice, I'm excited for this series. It's just, it's a California game. So you got two really old, great teams. Just great teams overall. So I'm actually excited. So the first game is tonight at 6:37 p.m. We're definitely watching. I'm just excited for those two games. I don't know about you guys, but I am. So, and let's go back to the playoffs. Give me just a second, because I think I lost it. So I am trying to go back to where I was. And my computer just decided to crash. Oh, geez. Okay. So the Cleveland Cardinal, or not Cardinals, the Marlins played against Tampa Bay. They beat them both games, the consecutive games. The first one was a 2-1, and then the second one was a 1-0. The next thing, their next game's against the Yankees. I am not seeing much of a game. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing much of a game between, well, mainly for the Rays. I think the Yankees are gonna be playing fairly well, so I think this is gonna be kind of like a sweep. Hopefully not, because I mean we won a really great playoff. So the second one, the other teams, it's gonna be Seattle. They played against the Blue Jays. They won both games, consecutive games. They won the first game 4-0, and the second game they won 10-9. Super close game, but at the end of the day, they took the victory, and now they're facing against the Houston Astros. So with that, we go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia had to play. They had to play the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals 6-3 and 2-0. And now they're gonna be facing the Braves. So, I mean, out of all these 4 games, again, I'm most definitely excited for the Dodgers. I don't know. It's just a California thing, I guess. But I am more excited about the Dodgers for sure. Like I said, New York, Cleveland, don't see much of a game there. I think New York would definitely taking it. Houston, Seattle, I would say it's gonna be a close game. My prediction will be probably Houston taking it. I think Houston has, and they're not even gonna win by a lot. I'll tell you that. I feel that they're not gonna win by a lot. Probably they might win 1 game. As it like, they're gonna be like back and forth winning, but of course they're gonna take the last game. Atlanta, Philadelphia. I feel like they're gonna be also tied in this game. For some reason I see Philadelphia going in, but I mean I think Philadelphia might be taking it. Definitely think Philadelphia might be taking it. Padres and Dodgers. That's a tough one. I mean, the Padres might have had a bit of a down in during the season, but when it comes to facing the Dodgers, they do show up. It's like 9 days. It's like they're down here in certain games, and then when it's Dodgers, we're like, up here. So it's a tough call. But I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna have to be a little bit realistic, and I'm gonna have to say Dodgers. Dodgers will be taking the series. I would like to see the Padres do it though, but I think I just hope that This is not a disappointment, but yeah, I think that the Dodgers would definitely be taking it. I am not a Dodger fan, so I'm a full Giant fan, but as a but I knowing the sport, I think Dodgers are taking the game. Like I said, I would like to see the Padres do it as well. But it's tough because it's a California, they're both California teams, and it's a tough call. So good luck to everybody. Playoffs are tonight. They're going to start with, of course, Atlanta, Philadelphia at 10 in the morning, and then Houston, Seattle at noon, and then at 4, New York, Cleveland, and then at 6, it's going to be Dodgers, Padres. So keep an eye on what your teams will be doing in the playoffs in the first game series. And if you're not a fan of any of those games, or any of those teams, just keep an eye out and start doing your little betting. It's always fun. It's always fun. Let's go to college football. In college football, we had Alabama facing the Texas A&M. Alabama beat Texas 24-20. And then Auburn lost to Georgia, the Bulldogs, 42-10. I think the Bulldogs have been just an insane team. I feel like they're one of like somewhat scary teams to play with. I don't know if it's because they're the Bulldogs, but I feel like they're a little scary to play with. And then Ohio State beat Michigan State 49-20. I'm actually surprised Ohio beat Michigan State. I think Michigan State, it's a really great team, and I think they always, when they play each other, I feel like Michigan always kind of takes the games, but I'm not sure what really happened there. And then Michigan beat Indiana 31-10. Michigan, I know people who don't like Michigan, and let me just say, they're just a great team. I'm sorry. You might like me, you might hate me, but Michigan's a great team. Not a Michigan fan, I'm not saying any wrong, but Michigan State, it's one of the toughest teams to beat in the Big Ten. And then Clemson beat Boston College 31-3. Clemson has been playing a great game at the beginning of the season, so everybody need to kind of like watch out for a little bit. UCS beat Washington State 30-14. Texas Tech lost to Oklahoma State 41-31. Tennessee beat LSU 40-13. Ole Miss beat Vanderbilt 52-28. That's a huge mark. 52. I haven't seen a 52 yet. It's a huge mark. Utah lost to UCLA 42-32, which UCLA has been doing a really great job. Oregon beat Arizona 49-22. And then South Carolina beat Kentucky 24-14. With that, we go to Florida State losing to NC State 19-17. The Army lost to Wake Forest 45-10. BYU lost to Notre Dame 28-20. I think I expected a little bit more of Notre Dame in this game. I don't know. I just think like that they're also one of the toughest teams to beat, and this game they seemed a little lost. They didn't seem like they didn't know what they were trying to do. If they wanted to play soft or they wanted to play tough enough, to win the game. Well, at the end of the day, whether they played soft or tough, they still won. But they didn't really show a lot of the improvements that they've done throughout the games. TCU beat Kansas 38-31. Kansas State beat Iowa State 10-9, a really close game and low scoring. Both team a slightly disappointment. I expected a little bit more of Iowa State. Kansas State, they're a great team, but they're not really great. I think Iowa State's a little bit slightly better. Washington lost to Arizona State 45-38. Really good game by both teams. And really close as well. In not just the scoring, but just in terms of plays and knowing each other where, one player was going where and what the other one was. Arkansas lost to Mississippi State 40-17. South Florida lost to Cincinnati 20-24. And then the Golden Gophers, the Minnesota Golden Gophers do not play this week. They were, in a little bit of recess, taking a time to practice and everything. I mean, they right now have kind of killed it in the beginning of the season. Lost last game to Penn State, but was it Penn State? I think it was Penn State. I think it was. I think it was. I'm trying to think if I said that correct. Oh no, it was Purdue. They lost to Purdue, not Penn State. Penn State, sorry, they take that victory from you guys. No, they lost to Purdue 20-10. They will play against Illinois on the 15th at 9 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. So make sure to watch them. So I think one of the things that they were a little concerned with the Golden Gophers was that Ibrahim, if he was playing, because they said he had like some minor injury, but he is expected to play, which is a good sign for the Gophers, because last game he did not play, ended up losing. And I mean, it was by 10 points, so it wasn't like it was too much of a gap, but at the same time, it was, kind of like a not too fun of the ending, right? But again, they didn't have Ibrahim. They will have him against Illinois, so hopefully that shows that now that we have our player or running back, we're coming back with another victory. So hopefully, I am not saying I'm a Gopher fan, but I know a lot of people who are. I know someone who is. So let's just hope that they do win so they can have a good weekend. But with that said, that's all for today's episode. If you're not following me, I forgot to say that earlier in the show, but follow me right here, this back of me, on Twitter, Koonze_Lucia, Facebook, Lucia Koonze, Instagram, Lucia Koonze9, and TikTok, Lucia K32. And with that said, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next week. We have more NFL. We definitely have the playoffs. We have definitely more, Big Ten, Pac-12 football games, recaps. So stay tuned next week. Thank you for watching and hope to see you guys.